All right, welcome back, everybody. We're going to be working on the Azure Virtual Desktop Hostpool module, which is going to be basically the house for all the session hosts, which is our virtual machines that you connect to over in Azure Virtual Desktop. So we're going to be using Camel Case here, and then while we're here, we are also going to open up the provider on Microsoft, so that we can get a good idea of what we need and what we don't need. So we have the provider on the right, and here are the different values we need. And let's go and get started here. So we're going to first start with the resource construct and naming the resource host pool. And then I know it's part of the provider type desktop virtualization, and then host pools. Let's go and use the latest API for now in case we need to change it otherwise. And now we do name host pool name. And make our other typical stuff like param location, string, location is location. Let's go ahead and also add in tags, object, tags, and then let's go and get into the meat of it. Properties, description. Now, just for the sake of parameterizing things, we can put in something like description, string. And then let's put the default as Azure Virtual Desktop Lab Environment. Okay. Next up, we need the host pool type. So this allows your own things. We're going to use a pooled one today. But we're just making the module here. And then we're going to also make this a parameter. And then there's a specific string we should use. And I am forgetting it. Okay, so if your target machine is Azure AD joined, you're going to want this specific property in your list here. So this list here basically tells it, hey, what type of RDP properties you want to use. And for our demonstration, we're going to be using an Azure AD joined machine, which makes it easier for us to authenticate into. So now that we have this here, we can continue on to the next properties. And for the sake of it, we don't need too much. Too many people are going to be joining here since this is a lab. And let's just put 3. And this is actually an integer. and then load balancer type. We're just going to be using one host pool, so let's just use depth first. So we want to use as much of the VM as possible, which isn't really applicable here, but we do have to set it. Registration info. Ah, yes. So there's a reason we have to use an older API is because we can't get the output of a specific registration token. So we're going to use, in the future we'll go and fix this, but we do want the output of the host pool token so we can use that for the registration over in the VM. And we'll show you how to do that shortly in another video. Bar date time add. And we're going to make this expire in 1 day. We're going to create a base time parameter. And let's use UTC now. Okay, so this is a object item and it's expecting these two values. So we're going to use add 1 day. So it's going to expire in 1 day. And then registration token operation, we want to do update. Eventually we can use a key vault, but for the sake of simplicity, we're going to use this. Validation environment, let's put false. And then what are you missing here? Preferred app group type is going to be Rail. I'm going to make this a parameter as well. And then we're going to, like I mentioned earlier, we do need some outputs from here. Okay, and we're not following my own rules here. We got to use camel case. Ah, actually, it's all one word. It's fine. And then we need the token. All right, now we got this. Go ahead and save it. And we're going to push it up to our repo. And then add this to our main.bicep. So slowly building on this. So now we have a few things here. Hostpool. And then we gotta copy the parameters. We don't need these two. Just gonna hard code this for now. Let's call it HP and then AVD prod West US 3. Hostpool type pooled. What is it? Hostpool type. We're gonna make this default. Okay. And then we just need hostpool name is hostpool name. Location is location. Tags is tags. And then let's make it depends on RG. Okay.